Do you like to take photos? Yes, I definitely do. I like taking photos of beautiful places, interesting or special moments that I want to capture and remember. And with my phone, I take pictures all the time, and if they're really nice, then I'll share them with my friends and family. Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos? I don't mind, really. I do like taking my own pictures, especially selfies in front of cool places or with my friends and family. But if someone else has a better camera or is better at photography than me, then they can absolutely take pictures of me as well. How often do you take photos? I take photos all the time with my phone because it has a really nice camera, and I do that because it helps me remember holidays, get-togethers with my friends, and it gives me nice memories to look back on in the future. In what situations do you take photos? Well, anytime there's a special or important occasion, like a wedding or a holiday, then I'll take lots of photos. Like I said, I want to keep and cherish those moments because they only happen once and my memory is usually terrible. How do you keep your photos? When I was younger, I used to keep physical albums of developed photos, but nowadays, because everything is digital, I just upload my photos to an album in a cloud.
Now I'd like to talk about photographs. Do you like taking photos?
Oh, not so much nowadays. I used to like it more when cameras were, old technology of film, and you had to go through the whole process of creating a photo like a piece of art. Nowadays, with digital cameras, it's so easy and so dispensable, and you take so many pictures because there's no cost to it, and they're all meaningless. You never look at them again because the whole kind of technology has changed, and so taking photos now is just to put on Instagram and let your friends know what you're doing at this moment. And that doesn't suit me. I don't want to tell people what I'm doing every moment of the day. So no, I don't really like taking photographs that much anymore.
How often do you take photos?
Less and less frequently is the answer to that question. It may be that I find myself in a certain situation, like a particular sunset, for example, or an unusual, piece of nature, a plant or an animal or a tree, or a place that I want to remember, or even actually more often nowadays, a notice or a sign or a document that I need to remember. These are the times when I take photos. But yeah, so actually, when I think about it, it may be more frequent, but taking photographs of documents and of signs and notices and advertisements, maybe I do that more frequently, but taking artistic photographs less and less.
In what situations do you take photos?
Yeah, well, I think I've answered the question. Very often nowadays, if I want to memorize something like a bus timetable or a for sale sign or a telephone number, yeah, very often nowadays I use my camera for that. But otherwise, perhaps traveling is a time when you would take pictures because these are unfamiliar locations that you might want to remember. Again, as I say, a beach or a sunset, you might want to take a picture of that. Whether you look at it again is another question, but yeah, in those kinds of situations, I suppose.
How do you keep your photos?
Again, that's changed. Back in the day, it was those photograph albums, which were, books in their own right. But paper's going out of style these days. What documents do you keep? What books do you keep? You have a device in your hand that can store all the information. So why have bulky things like paper? So the photos stay in the mobile phone, which is the camera. They stay there. and whether or not you look at them again is another matter. But they're there as digital records.
Okay, thank you.
Do you keep your old photos? Yes, I keep most of my old photos. I keep telling myself that someday I will go through them and weed out the ones that I don't want or need. I think I keep my old photos because I'm afraid I will forget some people or events or experiences. I also enjoy looking through them years later and re experiencing special moments. Honestly, I keep very few photos, mostly because I rarely take my camera with me anymore. Most of the photos I have are ones that someone has given to me or they have sent to me by email.
How do you think you will save your photos in the future? In the future, I would say currently I save my photos on my phone and on my multiple removable hard drives because I want to make sure that if something breaks down, then will still have the photos. So I will store my photos in different places, also online and offline. I think that's what I will do in the future. I will continue this habit in the future. So saving my photos in multiple devices and in the devices and online into the cloud. Because I think nowadays storage space is affordable. It's quite affordable. No matter it's online storage space or offline storage devices, they're quite affordable.
How do you keep your photos? Well, for some important photos, I usually print them and put them in frames in my home. However, for other photos, I just simply store them in my cell phone or my hard drive. In what situations do you take photos? Well, I often take pictures when I'm seeing the beautiful views. For example, when I'm on a trip, if I see some trees, flowers, or mountains, I just take a lot of photos. I mean, they're just gorgeous. How often do you take photos? It depends. If I see some incredible views, I'll use my smartphone to take tons of pictures. If I see nothing interesting or attractive, I won't take pictures at all. Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos? Well, most of the time I prefer taking photos myself because I love taking pictures of natural scenery, like trees or flowers, so I don't need help from others. But sometimes, if I want to have a picture with my family or friends, I'll probably have other people take photos for me. Do you like to take photos? Yeah, sure. I'm really into taking pictures. This is because the pictures can always remind me of those beautiful memories. For example, when I was traveling US, I took many pictures of famous attractions such as the Statue of Liberty and the Golden Gate Bridge, which can always remind me of the good time I had in America.
Do you like to take photos? Yes, of course. As a photographer, my major is to take photos and process it later on. I guess taking photos is a skill that I must do well in because it can bring me enough payment. In my daily life, I like to capture the beautiful moments of my girlfriend. The photos can be sweet memories between us. Do you like to take photos? Personally speaking, I'm really into taking photos, capturing wonderful moments in life, like some breathtaking sceneries and gorgeous people I bump into. I think it's really a nice activity which can remind me of the great times I had. Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos? I prefer to take photos by myself. People look better in their selfie. When I take selfies, I can make sure that my eyes are open and my smile is sweet. I always find it embarrassing when being a model for others. I just can't behave naturally. Do you prefer to take photos by yourself or have other people take photos? I seldom take selfies because I'm not sure if I can behave naturally before the camera. And recently, I put on weight greatly, so it is a little awkward to face myself. How did you keep your photos? I keep most of my photos online for backup, for it is very fast to commit from one to another. We can share it with friends easily. What else? The memory is so large that it can hold millions of photos and you will never worry about being lost. How do you keep your photos? I usually print them out and keep them in albums so that they will be well protected. Besides, I also store my photos on my computer, and I have created several folders, each with a specific theme. Apart from this, I also have backup on the internet in case my computer goes wrong and all the files are lost. How often do you take photos? It depends on the frequency of my work. I take photos of the products which are sold online. Usually, I work as a photographer 3 times a week. However, I will become extremely busy and take photos almost every day in November, as the Chinese Black Friday is coming soon. How often do you take photos? I think it really depends on the situations. For instance, when I hang out and have fun with my friends, and every one of us is dressed up, we would like to take photos frequently to memorize the wonderful moments and post those pictures in our social network website. By contrast, if I just stay at home or very busy with my work, I don't think I would have extra energy to take photos. In what situations do you take photos? As for me, there are many situations where I would take photos. I regard it as a good way to record my life as it is very convenient. For example, if I go on a trip to a forest park, I will definitely take a lot of pictures because, as you know, we live in a modern city and seldom get close to nature. Or I just go to the shopping mall or cafe with my friends. I tend to take selfies together so that we can review it later on. In what situations do you take photos? Sometimes I regard taking photos as a good way to record my life. If I go out and have a fancy party with my friends, I would take photos and share in my social network website and let my friends know how am I going. Additionally, it can remind me of the happy moment when I see it later on.
Do you like to take photos?
Yes and no. I do enjoy the pleasantries I exchange with my friends during the photo shooting and online posting. However, I usually get exhausted from all the photoshopping in order to impress people with an illusion that you've got a flawless face and a perfect figure, because it's a lot of work. My enthusiasm just dies away from hours and hours perfecting those photos. But just a few months ago, one of my lady friends came up with a solution to this conundrum. She actually took the liberty of editing all the photos we took before, and then she sent them to me. It turned out she's quite gifted at this. So finally, she became the honorable editor in our group.
How often do you take photos?
Actually, I often take photos on special occasions in particular. So, approximately once or twice a week. With a wide circle of friends, it's kind of impossible to say no to my friends' request of taking photos together, which nowadays, as we all know, is a common way to express friendship and closeness. And also, it has become a convention that you pick up your phone and take some pictures during family or friend gatherings to project an image of a bonding greatness.
In what situations do you take photos?
Every time I come to a new place and I have a gathering with my friends or family, I take some photos to commemorate those moments. When I go abroad, I bring large format cameras with me to capture the exotic views and the picturesque architecture on my way traveling, since it's highly unlikely that you'd come to this country a second time. At certain times, say during festival holidays. Taking photos is constantly suggested by your friend and relatives whom you have not seen for a long time. As I said before, we just treat these photos as memorabilia.
Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos?
I like to say shooting photos by others is more my thing. If you take photos by yourself, you can probably only fit your face and head in the whole frame. But for me, the point of taking photos is to express your feelings and emphasize some specific meanings, which can be much better revealed by your posture and the surroundings. And if your friend happens to have some previous knowledge about shooting or is some kind of professional, then believe me, you're about to get some really fancy photos and might have the urge to print them out as memorabilia.
How do you keep your photos?
Normally I take pictures using my phone, so I just keep the photos in there for a period of time at my own convenience. Due to the limitation of the raw memory in my phone and thanks to the advancement of technology, most of the photos have got automatically backed up to the iCloud, and I've formed a habit of deleting photos now and then, but being afraid of any bugs, loopholes, and all the annoying pay and get service restrictions regarding this clouding, I have to transfer most of the photos to my computer via Bluetooth every month or so to just make memory for otherwise use.
Okay, let's listen to some part 1 responses on the topic of photos and taking photos. Here we go.
Do you like to take photos? Yes, I definitely do. I like taking photos of beautiful places, interesting or special moments that I want to capture and remember. And with my phone I take pictures all the time, and if they're really nice, then I'll share them with my friends and family.
Okay, let's look at the structure. We start off with an answer, easy to understand. And it gives examples, and he extends it. He always has his phone, so it's easy to take pictures. So answer, reason, extension. Good. Let's move on.
Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos?
I saw so many examples of this question. This is not a real question. And also, what does this question mean? Do you prefer to take photos yourself or have other people take photos? Why would I care if other people take pictures? I don't even understand this question. This is not the right question. But hey.
I don't mind, really. I do like taking my own pictures, especially selfies in front of cool places or with my friends and family. But if someone else has a better camera or is better at photography than me,
or is better at photography, alright, look at this, better at, and then we have the noun there,
then they can absolutely take pictures of me as well.
They can absolutely take pictures of me, but is that what the question is asking? I don't know. Odd question.
How often do you take photos? I take photos all the time with my phone because it has a really nice camera.
See again, answer, all the time. Reason, it has a nice camera.
And I do that because it helps me remember holidays, get-togethers with my friends, and it gives me nice memories to look back on in the future.
And some examples, 3 examples. Helps me remember holidays, helps me remember get-togethers, and gives me memories to look back on. Look back on. That is a good phrase to use.
In what situations do you take photos?
Also, kind of an odd question.
Well, anytime there's a special or important occasion, like a wedding or a holiday, then I'll take lots of photos. Like I said, I want to keep and cherish those moments.
Oh, this is such a good verb to use with moments. Cherish those moments. Here, those is used correctly because those is referring back to these important occasions. A lot of people use those, but it's unclear what the those refers to. You can't say those if you haven't already mentioned what it refers to.
Like I said, I want to keep and cherish those moments because they only happen once and my memory is usually terrible.
Do they only happen once? But okay.
How do you keep your photos? When I was younger, I used to keep physical albums of developed photos.
Yeah, I guess you can say physical photo albums if it's in book form, although I don't think I've ever actually heard anybody say physical photo album. People usually just say photo album, but hey, there's nothing wrong with saying physical.
Of developed photos, but nowadays, because everything is digital, I just upload my photos to an album in a cloud.
Look at the preposition here. Upload to the cloud. Upload to.
Just upload my photos to an album in a cloud.
Now I'd like to talk about photographs.
The photographs?
Do you like taking photos?
Oh, not so much nowadays. I used to like it more when cameras were, old technology of film, and you had to go through the whole process of creating a photo like a piece of art.
That's a very interesting point of view. Nothing wrong with the point of view. Just one thing here. Yeah, film cameras, right? That's a pretty old technology. So when talking about taking photos, you might want to contrast film with digital. Although I think film pretty much obsolete nowadays, right?
Process of creating a photo like a piece of art. Nowadays with digital cameras, it's so easy and so dispensable. And
oh, look at that, dispensable. So you can just throw the pictures away. Well, not really throw away, of course, just delete them if you don't like them. But with pictures that are actually developed, not so easy to throw away.
Take so many pictures because there's no cost to it, and they're all meaningless.
They're all meaningless. He really doesn't like digital photos.
Well, look at them again, because the whole kind of technology has changed, and so taking photos.
The whole kind of technology has changed. Okay, so I guess the technology related to taking pictures has changed.
And so taking photos now is just to put on Instagram.
Okay, so taking pictures now is just about putting them on Instagram. Let
your friends know what you're doing at this moment. And that doesn't suit me. I don't want to tell people what I'm doing every moment of the day.
Whoa, this answer's getting kind of long.
So no, I don't really like taking photographs that much anymore.
All right.
How often do you take photos?
I love that. He just said he doesn't like taking pictures, and then she asks, how often do you take pictures?
Take photos.
Less and less frequently is the answer to that question. It may be that I find myself in a certain situation.
Okay. So, in general, this is true, but in certain situations, this is true. So, you can move from the general to the specific, even if the specific doesn't generally happen, even if it's like an exception to the rule.
It may be that I find myself in a certain situation, like a particular sunset, for example, or an unusual, piece of nature.
Unusual piece of nature. I don't think nature comes in pieces. So what is he saying here? A particular natural spot, maybe that, a natural spot or a natural area.
A plant or an animal or a tree, or a place that I want to remember, or even actually more often nowadays, a notice or a sign or a document that I need to remember.
Okay, so quite a bit of repetition here. Or 222.
These are the times when I take photos. But yeah, so actually, when I think about it, it may be more frequent.
Okay, it's changing its answer, that's fine, but don't let it drag on too long. How long is he going to talk about these documents now?
But taking photographs of documents and of of signs and notices and advertisements.
Okay, okay, I think he's going to drag on a bit here. So maybe he could have said, well, so actually when I think about it, yeah, I do kind of often take pictures of photographs and documents because I need to remember them, and then stop talking.
Of signs and notices and advertisements. Maybe I do that more frequently, but taking artistic photographs less and less.
Okay, so maybe if he had thought about it a little bit, in the beginning he would have said... where's the beginning? Okay, so in general, no, not really. I take pictures less and less, but when it comes to taking pictures of documents and things I need to remember, yeah, I take those quite a lot. But as for artistic pictures, no, those I take less and less of. Then the structure would have been a bit better, and the answer would have been shorter also.
Less.
In what situations do you take photos?
The word is situations. Situations.
Photos.
Yeah, well, I think I've answered the question now. Very often nowadays, if I want to memorize something like a bus timetable or a for sale sign or a telephone number, yeah, very often nowadays I use my camera for that. But otherwise, perhaps.
I mean, if you've already covered the topic, think about keeping your answers shorter than what he's doing now. Don't talk about the sun shining, the sunset again.
Traveling is a time when you would take pictures because, these are unfamiliar locations that you might want to remember.
But you might want to remember, why is he talking in the general? The question is you. Not people in general. What is going on here? I remember a beach.
Familiar locations that you might want to remember. Again, as I say, a beach or a sunset.
No, don't talk about the sunset again. You've already mentioned that.
That whether you look at it again is another question.
Why you? Whether I look at it again is another question.
But yeah, in those kinds of situations, I suppose.
How do you keep your photos?
Again, that's changed. Back in the day, it was a photograph album.
This I do like. Back in the day. So when you're talking about time past, use the phrase back in the day.
Which were, books in their own right. But paper's going out of style these days. What documents do you keep? What books do you keep? You have a device in your hand that can store all the information, so why have bulky things like paper? So the photos stay in the mobile phone, which is...
The photos stay in the mobile phone. Why in the mobile phone? Why not on the mobile phone? You keep things on your computer. You keep things on your phone, not in your phone. I think he's been in China too long. He's starting to say in his phone.
Camera, they stay there. And,
Okay, stop there. Stop. So I keep my photos on my phone.
Whether or not you look at them again is another matter.
Oh boy, he said this already, hasn't he?
But they're there as digital records.
That's a good phrase. So we keep pictures on our phone, and the pictures on your phone represent a kind of digital record. That's a good phrase. But don't say things that you've already said before.
Okay, thank you.
Do you keep your old photos? Yes, I keep most of my old photos.
Whoa, this guy speaks slowly.
I keep telling myself that someday I will go through them and weed out the ones that I don't want or need.
Weed out. Alright, so if you weed out, well, that's exactly what he said, right? You delete the ones that you don't want or you don't need. You get rid of them.
Need. I think I keep my old photos because I'm afraid I will forget some people or events or experiences.
Okay, it's a good idea, but the delivery is so slow. Oh my goodness. And it's so flat, his voice, his pronunciation.
I also enjoy looking through them years later and re-experiencing special moments.
Re-experiencing. Why don't we say relive? Okay, so I like going through my pictures later on, maybe years later, and reliving those experiences. Why don't we say reliving those experiences?
Honestly, I keep very few photos.
Okay. Alternative answer. Okay, few.
Mostly because I rarely take my camera with me anymore.
Why not?
Most of the photos I have are ones that someone has given to me or they have sent to me by email.
What? That's kind of weird. Why don't you take your camera with you? What's this? People give you pictures. People give you pictures? You mean like physically give? Or I don't quite understand what's going on with this answer.
How do you think you will save your photos in the future?
Sometimes in part 1 they do ask you about the future. But wow, this is a hard question.
In the future, I would say currently I save my photos on my phone.
I will say, usually we say I will say, and then you make a choice. You choose between two things. But you can say, I shouldn't say you can't say, but if you say I will say, and then you say something you already do, that sounds a bit weird. I will say, followed by a choice. Like for example, I'd say, do you want coffee or tea? Or do you like coffee or tea? I'd say I'd go for a coffee, making a choice. Not a big deal.
On my phone and on my multiple removable hard drives.
Why are there all these pauses between the words?
Because I want to make sure that if something breaks down, then I will still have the photos.
Something breaks down. She means her multiple removable hard drives. Okay, you can say this, but usually we just say portable hard drives. Portable hard drives. But maybe they're not portable. Maybe they are just removable.
Down, then I will still have the photos. So I will store my photos in.
The word is store, not stole.
Different places.
Okay.
Also online and offline.
Okay, but the offline and online are the different places. So I store my photos on different hard drives, but I also store them online. Is she going to talk about the online?
Online and offline. I think that's what I will do in the future. I will continue this habit in the future. So saving my photos in multiple devices.
On multiple devices. On multiple devices.
And in the devices and online into the cloud.
And online in the cloud, on the cloud.
Because I think nowadays storage.
Ooh, this answer's getting long.
Space is affordable. It's quite affordable. No matter it's online storage.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so both online and offline storage is quite affordable.
Space or offline storage devices, they're quite affordable.
No, she's saying the same thing too many times. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I save my photos on multiple what did she say? Removable hard drives. I save my photos on multiple removable hard drives and also on the cloud because online and offline storage space is so affordable nowadays. Shorter, please.
How do you keep your photos? Well, for some important photos, I usually print them and put them in frames in my home. However, for
Did she say frames? Or did he say frames rather? Frames?
And put them in frames in my home.
frames, frames, frames. Okay?
However, for other photos, I just simply store them in my cell phone
On my cell phone, on my cell phone.
or my hard drive. In what situations do you take photos? Well, I often take pictures when I'm seeing the beautiful views.
Why use the continuous here? I often take pictures when I see beautiful views. And why no ing?
For example, when I'm on trip,
When I'm on a trip.
I see some trees, flowers, or mountains,
From mountains or mountains?
or mountains.
I really don't know.
I just take a lot of photos. I mean, they're just gorgeous.
Well, you can't argue with that.
How often do you take photos? It depends. If I see some incredible views, I'll use my smartphone.
Why is this if I see some incredible views, I'll use
To take tons of pictures. If I see nothing interesting or attractive, I won't take pictures at all.
I mean, you can't argue with the logic, right? If there's nothing to take pictures of, I won't take pictures. Okay? Different, but logical.
Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos?
Oh my goodness, this question is driving me crazy. What does this mean? Why would you care if other people take pictures? So what are you going to say? Hey, you can't take that picture. I'm going to take that picture. What an odd question.
Take photos. Well, most of the time I prefer taking photos myself because I love taking pictures of natural scenery, like trees or flowers. So I don't need help from others. But sometimes if I want to
So I don't need help. So I don't need help taking these kinds of photos, but for other kinds of photos, maybe
picture with my family or friends, I'll probably have other people take photos for me.
Oh, okay, this is an interesting angle. Okay, so when he takes pictures with his family or friends, he asks other people to take pictures of them. Okay, yeah, that's a good way to approach this question, I think.
Do you like to take photos? Yeah, sure. I'm really into taking pictures. This is because the pictures...
Note the pictures in general. We don't need the article.
Can always remind me of those beautiful memories.
Also, I have to think, why can? Because he says, yeah, sure, right? And then he says, always. So why do we need the can? I know I'm nitpicking, but do we need the can?
Me of those beautiful memories. For example, when I was traveling US.
When I was traveling in the US. Here, we do use the ing, because this was a very temporary thing. Your holiday comes to an end, right? So here we do use the continuous. When I was traveling in the US,
took many pictures of famous attractions, such as the Statue of Liberty.
And he gives us examples, good, and the reason why.
And the Golden Gate Bridge, which can always remind me.
Again with the can. Okay, so which always reminds me of the good time I had there.
Of the good time I had in America.
I do like the structure of this guy's answers. Very good.
Do you like to take photos? Yes, of course. As a photographer.
Nope. The word is photographer. Photographer. It's a different sound than photo. Photographer.
My major is to take photos and process it later on.
Take photos and process it? No, take photos and process them. Process them later on. Process. Does she mean like edit? Or is she talking about film?
I guess taking photos is a skill that I must do well.
Skill.
Because it's
a skill that I must do well in. I don't know that you can do well in a skill. You can just do a skill well. So I do well. Because the skill is taking pictures, so I do it well. Now there's no in there. So taking photos is a skill that I must do well.
Bring me enough payment.
What? Because it's It's...
As it can bring me enough payment.
I don't know what this means. Is she literally talking about money? Oh, she's studying to become a photographer. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's how I'm going to make my living. So taking photos is a skill that I have to do well because this is how I'm going to make my living in the future.
In my daily life, I like to capture the beautiful moments of my girlfriend. The photos can be sweet memories between us.
Interesting pronunciation here. The rhythm here is kind of... Let's listen to that last part again.
To the beautiful moments of my girlfriend, the photos can be sweet memories between us.
Her rhythm doesn't seem very natural there. Okay.
Do you like to take photos? Personally speaking.
Why, personally speaking? Oh my goodness. Do you like to take photos? Personally speaking, I'm really into taking photos. This is a 5 for coherence. Not using discourse markers properly. When you're talking about your own life, your own habits, your own likes, your own dislikes, you don't use personally speaking. Personally speaking is used for opinions.
Personally speaking, I'm really into taking photos. Capturing wonderful moments in life.
Oh, that's a great verb to use. Capturing wonderful moments. Yeah. Or noun, as it is here. Here it's used as a noun.
Like some breathtaking sceneries and gorgeous people I bump into.
Okay.
I think it's really a nice activity.
Ooh, a nice activity. Nice is such a general adjective. It's a really worthwhile activity.
This activity which can remind me of the great times I had. Do you?
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos?
I mean, she's trying to get her intonation going. Good for her. But she still pronounces her syllables. Each syllable that she says sounds to me like it's at the same length. So that's why her rhythm is a little bit off when she speaks.
I prefer to...
Did I miss something here? What happened? Oh no, it's this question again.
I prefer to take photos by myself. People look better in their selfie.
Well, if it's people, then it's got to be selfies, right? Selfies.
When I take selfies, I can make sure that my eyes are open.
Okay, I guess that's a concern for some people.
Smile is sweet. I always find it embarrassing when being a model for others.
Ooh, here the grammar kind of breaks down. Let's see here. I always find it embarrassing to be a model for others. I always find it embarrassing to be a model for others.
Being a model for others. I just can't behave naturally.
A model. Okay, alright, okay.
Do you prefer to take photos by yourself or have other people take photos?
Oh my goodness. How many of these questions are there?
I seldom take selfies because I'm not sure if I can behave naturally before.
I'm not sure if I can behave naturally before the camera. Okay, fine. But for camera, we usually say in front of the camera, not before the camera. If you are the subject of the picture, you are in front of the camera. The cameraman is behind the camera. Behind, in front of. There's no before.
Camera. And recently, I put on weight greatly.
Ooh. I put on a lot of weight. Recently, I put on a lot of weight. Not put on weight greatly.
So it is a little awkward to face myself.
It's a little awkward to face myself. The only place where you can face yourself is in a mirror, I think. So it's a little awkward to look at photos of myself, I think.
How did you keep your photos?
Why is this in the past tense? How did you keep your photos?
I keep most of my photos online for backup.
I back up most of my photos online. I back up most of my photos online.
For it is very fast to commit from one to another.
This I don't even understand. What is the commit doing here? It's very fast to commit from one to another. What is the one? What's the other? What's the commit? I don't know any of these. Nope.
We can share it with friends easily.
Share it. That's the photos, right? Yeah.
What else? The memory is so large.
What else? Why say this? This is a weird thing to say. I think what she means is, moreover, the memory is so large. What memory? What is she talking about? Oh, online. Oh, the cloud. But that's not memory, that's hard drives. It's stored on hard drives, not memory. The hard drive space is so hard. So large. So
what else?
So moreover, the space on the clouds can hold millions of photos. Okay. I don't think they allow people to upload millions of photos, but anyway. Okay, so your online space on the clouds are basically unlimited. So I think is what she's trying to say. You have unlimited space on the clouds.
The memory is so large that it can hold millions of photos, and you will never worry about being lost.
You will never worry about being lost. That means you get lost. So you never need to worry about your photos being what? Getting deleted? Or you will never have to worry about your data being deleted or your photos getting lost, but not you getting lost. Your photos getting lost.
How do you keep your photos? I usually print them out and keep them in albums so that they will be well protected.
Good point.
Besides, I also store my photos on my computer.
She uses the right preposition, on my computer.
And I have created several folders, each with a specific theme.
Great vocabulary. She's created some folders, each with a specific theme. Good.
The specific theme.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from this, I also have backup on the internet in case my computer goes wrong.
Oh, my computer goes wrong. In case I have some computer problems.
All the files are lost.
Files. Okay, so everything was very good up until this last sentence. Maybe you could say, what was the word just before this? You could say, in case something goes wrong with my computer. Something goes wrong with my computer and all the files are lost. But usually we just say, if my computer has some problems and all the files get lost.
Files are lost. How often do you take photos? It depends on the frequency of my work.
I mean, I understand what she's trying to say, but no one says this. It depends on how busy I am at work.
I take photos of the products which are sold online.
No, I take photos of products which are sold online.
Usually, I work as a photographer.
Photographer. I work as a photographer 3 times a week. Interesting.
Times a week. However, I will become extremely busy and take photos almost every day in November, as the Chinese Black Friday is coming soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody calls it Chinese Black Friday, but hey, if you want to call it Chinese Black Friday, go ahead. I'll become extremely busy and take photos almost every day. I don't think this is clearly explained. I mean, I know she's trying to connect it to this, right? I take photos of products which are sold online, but it's not well explained to me why she's going to become extremely busy. A little bit incoherent. I think she could explain this better. I'm not going to try to guess what her situation is, but I guess she takes photos for like an online store or something, and their business really picks up in November because of this online shopping holiday, so she takes a lot of pictures of stock during that time.
November, as the Chinese Black Friday is coming soon. How often do you take photos? I think
Isn't this the same person with a different answer? What's going on here?
it really depends on the situations.
Situations. It depends on the situation, not situations. It depends on the situation.
For instance, when I hang out and have fun with my friends, and every one of us is dressed up.
Dressed up. Why would?
We would like to take photos
Did she say will or would?
of us is dressed up. We would like to take
I'm not sure.
photos frequently to memorize the wonderful moments.
No, it's not memorize. To capture the wonderful moment. We like to take photos frequently to capture these wonderful moments. Capture.
Frequently to memorize the wonderful moments and post those pictures in our social network website.
On our social network website. You have your own social network website. But anyway, the preposition is on.
By contract,
I'm guessing contrast.
I just stay at home or very busy with my
different verbs. See, here's a conjunction, or. This side is an adjective. Adjective needs a be verb. On this side of the conjunction, we have a main verb. So you can't leave out the be verb. If I just stay at home, or am very busy with my work. We need an am here.
or very busy with my work. I don't think I would have extra energy to take photos.
Oh my goodness, how much energy does it take to press a button? Nah, there's nothing wrong with the answer except for the be verb.
In what situations do you take photos?
Again, the word is situations.
As for me, there are
Nope, no as for me. They're asking about you. They're not asking for your opinion. They're asking just what do you do. There's no as for me. You are not contrasting yourself with anyone else. You're just talking about yourself.
As for me, there are many situations where I would take photos. I regard it as a good way to record my life,
Okay.
as it is very convenient.
But do you really mean you record your life? Maybe.
It is very convenient. For example, if I go on a trip
I go on a trip.
to Forest Park, I will definitely take a lot of pictures because, as you know, we live in a modern city.
Whoa, I don't know where you live. Why are you saying because as you know? No, I don't know. Why say that?
And seldom get close to nature.
Okay, but I do like this phrase here, get close to nature. That's pretty good. So it gives a reason for this. Yeah, it's connected.
Close to nature. Or I just go to the shopping mall or
Mall.
cafe with my friends. I tend to take selfies together so that we can review it later on.
Okay, so for example, and then these natural pictures, or these pictures taking nature. Okay, and then we have this or. So yeah, that's logical, right? A or B. I tend to take selfies together. That's okay too. So that we can review it later on. That's not so good. Selfies. It. No. Them. I don't really know what the review means. Do you review your pictures? What does she mean by that? So we can look at them later on? So we can edit them later on? So we can go through them later on? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what she does. But review is not the word to be using here.
Review it later on.
Nope.
In what situations do you take photos?
Oh my goodness. Isn't this the same question again?
Sometimes I regard taking photos as a good way to record my life. If I go out and have a fancy party with my friends,
Okay.
I would take photos and share in my social network.
Again, it's on. Okay, same person making the same mistakes.
work website and let my friends know how am I going.
What? I don't even know what this means. Let my friends know how I'm going. How I'm doing? Let my friends know what I'm up to? Showing off to my friends, maybe?
Going. Additionally, it can remind
Additionally, it. But I do like the additionally. That's a good adverb to use.
me of the happy moment when I see it later on.
What? Additionally, it can remind me of the happy moment when I see it with our own. That can't be right.
It can remind me of the happy moment when I see it later on.
When I see it with our own. Nope. I'm not sure what happened there.
Do you like to take photos?
Yes and no. I do enjoy the pleasantries I exchange with my friends during the photo shooting and online posting.
Oh my goodness, I wish this guy would pause a little bit. Yes and no, okay. I do enjoy the pleasantries I exchange with my friends. Okay, vocabulary is pretty good, but man, this sounds so memorized. He's not even trying to pretend that he's not reading.
Yes and no. I do enjoy the pleasantries I exchange with my friends during the photo shooting and all.
During the photo shooting. Photo shooting. Are you a professional photographer? Are you taking pictures of models? If not, there's no photo shoot.
Posting. However, I usually get exhausted from all
Exhausted.
photoshopping in order to impress people with an illusion that you've got a flawless face and a perfect figure, because it's a lot of work.
I remember this guy. He's the guy, yeah. He always looks like, or he sounds rather, he always sounds like he's looked up a lot of words in the dictionary.
My enthusiasm just dies away from
My enthusiasm dies away. No one says that. You can use the word wane. My enthusiasm wanes after a couple of hours of trying to perfect those photos.
dies away from hours and hours perfecting those photos. But just a few months ago, one of my
months ago,
lady friends came up with a solution to this conundrum.
Okay, conundrum, that's a good word to use. But why is he talking about his friend?
She actually took the liberty of editing all the photos we took before, and then she sent them to me.
She sent them to me.
Turned out she's
Turned out.
quite gifted at this, so finally she became the honorable editor in our group.
I don't even know what what was the answer? What was the question? Do you often take pictures? What's the answer? Yes and no. Do you enjoy taking pictures? Yes and no. I enjoy the pleasantries, but I get exhausted. Whoa. I mean, by the end of this, I couldn't even remember what his answer was. Okay, anyway, that's... I think I said before, this guy sounds like he swallowed a dictionary.
In our group.
How often do you take photos?
Photos.
Actually, I often take photos on special occasions in particular.
Okay.
So, approximately once or twice a week, with a wide circle of friends.
You see, he tries to put these... he doesn't want to start his sentences with pronouns. So he starts with a prepositional phrase with this wide circle of friends, which I think is a good idea in part 3 of the speaking test. Part 1, it sounds a little unnatural. Part 3, your language is supposed to be conversational, and he doesn't quite pull it off.
Kind of impossible to say no to my friends' requests.
With a wide circle of friends, it's kind of impossible. Alright, let's hear.
Photos together, which nowadays, as we all know, is a common way to...
What? They edit something here? Something seems to be cut out here.
As we all know, it's a common way
Okay, it seems to be a bit of an edit.
to express friendship and closeness.
It's so difficult for me to remember what this guy is saying. With a wide circle of friends, it's kind of impossible to say no to my friend's request to take. My friend's requests to take photos together, which nowadays, as we all know, is a common way to express friendship and closeness. You mean the request? I'm guessing.
Photos together, which nowadays, as we all know, is a common way to express friendship and closeness. And also, it has become a convention that you pick up your phone and take some pictures during family or friend gatherings.
It's become a convention. It's become a convention. It's become commonplace. It's become a habit. Convention is not the right word to use. That you pick up your phone and take some pictures during family or friend gatherings. Family gatherings, yes. Friend gatherings, no. You can say gathering of friends, but you can't say friend gatherings.
Pictures during family or friend gatherings to project an image of a bonding greatness.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and here he's just throwing words together and none of them go together. Bonding greatness. I don't know what he's saying here. And why is he using the verb project? Because if you project an image, it's like you're trying to show something. But often when we say project, it means what we're trying to show is not real. So if you say project an image of bonding, it means we want to show we are bonding, but maybe we're not actually really bonding. Maybe that's what it means. I'm guessing it's not though, so I'm guessing project is maybe not the right word. And I don't know what bonding greatness is. Let's leave out the greatness here.
Image of a bonding greatness.
Oh, and also bonding. No, there's no This is not a countable noun.
In what situations do you take photos?
Photos.
Every time I come to a new place and I have a gathering with my friends or family, I take some
Have a gathering with my friends or family. Okay, yeah.
photos to commemorate those moments.
No, taking pictures doesn't commemorate anything. The verb is capture those moments.
Commemorate those moments. When I go abroad, I bring large format cameras with me.
Large format cameras. I'm not a photographer. I don't know what a large format camera is. Maybe it's not wrong to say that. I can't say I've ever heard anyone use this phrase before, but hey, I don't know. Maybe.
Capture the exotic views and the picturesque architecture on my way traveling.
On my way. On your way means while you are going from A to B. So there's no on my way traveling. So what did he say here? Capture the exotic views. Yeah, good. Picturesque architecture. Very good. While traveling. Just while traveling.
Way traveling. Since it's highly unlikely that you'd come to this country a second time.
Go to this country.
At certain times, let's say during festival holidays.
During festival holidays, there's no festival holidays. So during festivals or holidays, this guy really should pause a little bit more.
Taking photos is constantly suggested by your friend and relatives.
Why is it one friend? See, here again, he is putting... Okay, so here, he wants to put this noun as the subject of the sentence. So instead of saying your friends and family often suggest that you take pictures, he's saying taking photos is constantly suggested by your friends and relatives. Okay, it's fine. In writing, maybe, or maybe in part 3 of the test, but this is not conversational language. And I'm going to repeat myself now, but he just doesn't pull it off. His English is not good enough to successfully do this. I mean, if your English is really good, maybe you could do this in part 1, but When he does it, it just sounds clumsy.
Taking photos is constantly suggested by your friend
Okay, like I said, friends.
and relatives whom you have not seen for a long time.
Yeah, move on.
As I said before, we just treat these photos as memorabilia.
That's a terrific word to use. Memorabilia. Memorabilia. Things that remind you of other things that happened in the past. Good, good, good. The end is good. We treat these photos as memorabilia. Okay, maybe we do. I don't know.
Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this answer.
I like to say shooting photos by others is more my thing.
Shooting photos by others is more my thing. Shooting photos by others is more my thing. I do like to shoot, because instead of saying take photos, you can say shoot photos. This is good, but I don't understand what the whole sentence means. I mean, I do understand more my thing, although he said thin, it is thing. I understand all the words, but when you put them together, I don't get what he's saying. Okay.
If you take photos by yourself, you can probably only fit your face and head in the whole frame.
Excellent vocabulary. Frame, right? The little the box or whatever that shows up on your phone. Some things will be in frame, some things will be out of frame. I'm not sure why though. You can just zoom out.
For me, the point of taking photos is to express your feelings and emphasize some specific meanings, which can be much better revealed by your posture and the surroundings.
What is he saying here? Taking photos is, the point of taking photos is to express your feelings. Okay, maybe if it's like a portrait, and emphasize some specific meanings. I don't know what that means, which can be much better revealed by your posture, which can be much better expressed by your posture and the surroundings. I don't quite get what he means by that. Okay, maybe express is a better verb to use than reveal here.
Which can be much better revealed by your posture and the surroundings. And if your friend happens to have some previous knowledge about shooting,
happens to have some previous knowledge about shooting, I think it means photography. If you're going to say shooting, you have to say okay, I guess you don't have to say, but it's easy to confuse shooting a picture with shooting a gun. So has some previous knowledge, has some experience. If your friend has some photography experience,
or is some kind of professional, then believe me, you're about to get some really fancy photos and might have the urge to print them out as memorabilia.
I'm not going to try to understand. Okay, let's move on. The memorabilia, again, really good. Terrific word to use when talking about photos. Well, actually, talk about anything that makes you think about the past is memorabilia.
Do you keep your photos?
Photos.
Normally I take pictures using my phone, so I just keep the photos in it for
Nope, the preposition is on, so I keep the photos on it.
a period of time.
I keep the photos on it for a period of time. What does that mean? Who talks like this? I keep the photos on it for, what, a couple of weeks, a couple of months?
My own convenience.
Okay.
Due to the limitation in the ROM memory in my
Phones don't use ROM, they use RAM. Due to the limitations of RAM in my phone, and thanks to the advancement of technology, what is he saying? Because my phone has limited memory. Okay, my phone has limited memory, and what's the other part?
phone, and thanks to the advancement of technology, most of the photos have got automatically backed up to the iCloud.
Have got. Why is it present perfect tense? Doesn't this always happen? So most of my photos are automatically backed up to the iCloud.
iCloud.
So I think let's use the present tense. Most of my photos are automatically backed up. Okay, I do like the R backed up. Okay, I do like the passive. I'm just not sure about the perfect aspect. Let's use the present tense instead.
And I've formed a habit of deleting photos now and then.
Now and again, not now and then. Oh no, now and then. Now and then is fine too. Now and then, now and again. Okay, I take that back. That's fine.
But being afraid of it.
Again, this guy cannot put pronouns in the beginning of sentences. He's got to put some other noun phrase there. But being afraid of any bugs, loopholes. Okay.
Any bugs, loopholes, and all the annoying pay and get service restrictions.
I don't know what he's talking about here. Bugs. Okay, but I'm afraid of bugs. Bugs is a great word to use. Loopholes, also a great word to use. I don't know what a pay and get service is. What's that? Pay and get service restrictions. I don't know. I am not going to Google this. But maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. So he's saying he's afraid of bugs, he's afraid of loopholes, and he is annoyed by other service restrictions. Maybe he's talking about some space limitations. Your space is limited.
Restrictions regarding this clouding.
Okay, this I am going to look up. I don't know if clouding is a word. I've never heard that before. Okay, I googled clouding. I can't find anything about clouding. There is cloud computing, but no clouding. No, I don't think so.
I have to transfer the photos to my computer via Bluetooth every month or so to just make memory for otherwise use.
For otherwise use. Use here is a noun. Why otherwise? Just to make memory. What is he trying to say here? So I need to. Okay, so I transfer some photos to my computer every month via Bluetooth, just to free up some memory for other use. This is a noun. So let's just say other use. So I want to free up some memory for other use. I don't know. This guy is kind of exhausting.